Morning troops, another day, another river, one of those monthly specials. Worked all night, gonna fish all day, well maybe fish all day, it depends how it goes. But yeah, so I was out working last night, 50 odd miles away, so hour and 10-minute drive to the river this morning. Got here at first light. And going to be a change of tactics, change of plans today. The last few, well, quite a lot of sessions in the last month or so. Seen a lot of missed runs. A lot of hard sessions where there were no runs at all, but a lot of missed runs as well. So today's going to be hopefully experimenting with. Hopefully we get a lot of runs and a lot of fish, and I'm going to tweak some of my rigs. I think it's. In the beginning of the season, hair rig dead baits with the single curved hook or the single circle hook, hair rig style, with the hook towards the base of the tail, was working wonders. Every run I had, I hit, and I was getting decent fish, doubles, up to 17, 18 pounds. So it was working, and then things started getting difficult midwinter, and the bites started getting finicky. Don't matter how long you left them or how great the run looked, winding down into thin air and a couple of hook pulls. So today I'm going to tweak all my rigs. Not straight away. I'm like every fisherman, I'm a greedy bugger. I want my baits in the water straight away, so I've not tweaked any rigs. I've tweaked the size of the baits and the position of the hook. So my right hand rod, I've got a small bluey, just the head section, directly hooked through the snout. They've got quite long snouts, blueys. If that's directly hooked, that's cast out to the right hand side. The middle rod I've stuck with my old tried and tested sardine, but not a huge one, 6 inches long, sardine hair rigged, single curved hook. That's in the middle rod. And on the left hand rod, I've got a large herring, but I'm not using a large herring. I've cut the head off. And I'll show you later. What I've done is I've hair rigged it through the head, so the hook is sitting proud on the snout of the herring head, so that the hair's gone through and the stop under its belly. So you've got a head section, quite a big head, and so I've hooked it that way. So I've got 3 baits in, 2 of them are still hair rigged, one's directly hooked. So I hope we get some bites, because I'm going to tweak. I want to tweak one of my hair rig rigs. Got a direct hook rig which I'm happy with. The direct hook rig I had, my last 3 runs I had 3 fish on it, and I hooked it every time. Run out of a little roach about 1 inch long. I've got a couple of 2 to 3 inch roach in there in the bag. Might try them later, but at the moment I'm directly hooked, a small bluey head. So we're all in, we're all ready to go. Let's hope we catch some fish today and we can tweak these rigs, because that's all it needs is tweaking, I think. I know I've had some great response. I'm really chuffed to bits with the response I got from the video I made. I haven't made a big mistake with circle hooks. A lot of opinions, different opinions. It was great to have a load of different interaction with everyone, different ideas bouncing around. But I'm not going to go back to trebles. I don't see me envisioning me going back to trebles at all. I'm quite happy with the route I've taken. As I said in a lot of the comments I answered, I was fishing with trebles for 40 plus years, and without blowing my own trumpet, I was a bit of an expert. I didn't miss many fish, if any. Didn't deep hook any, if any. But I wanted to go a different route. I wanted to go down the route of not having 6 barbs in a fish's mouth. It's just where I want to go. So you live and die, sink or swim by your own decisions, don't you? So I had a good start. of the season, like last year. I mean, the penny didn't drop. It was a bit too slow last year. Last winter was the same thing. I had lots of runs, lots of fish at the start of the season. Midwinter, took a dip, bites got finicky, got harder to hit, and in the last month I hit everything again that took a bait. And I was using some big baits towards the end of last season. I mean, big sea baits, 12 inches long, on a size 4 curved hook, and I was hitting every fish every time. So I thought the rigs were perfect, but they're not. They don't work in the dead of winter. They really don't. The fish are picking up baits, hardly moving, hardly taking them, picking them up, moving off. And if your hook's not in the mouth, you're not going to catch. So less of the waffling, and hopefully more of the action. Let's have a look at this swim. Bit breezy today. I think I might be able to get the external mic out. This is the swim. There's the left hand rod. So it's got a whole herring, well, whole herring head. It wouldn't be half a head, would it? It's got the head section of a herring. Quite a large head. Air rigged, size 4 circle hook. That's hair rigged through the head, obviously. Not lengthwise, but depthwise. So the hook's mounted on the top of its head. I'll show you when I reel in exactly how I've set that one up. Here's the right hand rod. So that's a bluey head, directly hooked through the snout. With one of my red circle hooks. I had all the fish out on the small roach the other week. And the middle rod, it's just off that tree. Got 2 rod lengths in front of that tree, so hopefully any pike hold up there. And that's got a whole sardine. It's a lovely morning on the river. So it's a bit windy. I might have to get the external mic out. I have to have a listen back on the audio. Let's catch some pike. Oh, normal 2-hour report. Nothing to report. We had a touch. I've scaled back the size of my baits to see if that improves the runs to landed fish ratio. I ain't had a bite, so can't even tweak my rigs yet. So my right hand rod I've still got very small, half a bluey, directly hooked. That's on the rig I caught the fish on the last couple of trips. Left hand rod I've got a whole sardine. That's hair rigged. That's my normal style, but I've got the hook placement a little bit further down than I normally would have. So it's, instead of at the base of the tail, it's sort of like 3/4 of the way down the fish, if you know what I mean, or 1/4 of the way down, whichever way you want to look at it. 3/4 of the way down from the nose, 1/4 of the way down from the tail. So I've got that in a slightly different position. And in the middle rod, got half a herring, very small I mean, I've cut it in half on purpose, and I used the head earlier for a bit of bait, but had nothing on that, so I just swapped it over. Got a tail section on there, pumped it with a bit of oil. It's not a huge tail section, so I'm fishing with, for me, relatively small baits. I like to have quite big baits on my pike rigs. At least 1 or 2 of them I like 10 to 12 inch baits. It's just the way I am. I like big baits. I think big baits catch big fish. But at the moment, no fish, so it's got to just adapt. So what I've got these rigs in on purpose to see what happens when I get a run on with these small baits. What the conversion rate's like. And if I have the same problem as I've had since late November, I can then tweak the rigs how I want to tweak them. At the moment, it's a waiting game. I've got to wait for a run. At the moment, I ain't getting none. So yeah, it's been very quiet morning. Nice chat on the bank to a subscriber, Chris, and then the bailiff Pete came round. So you know, we've had a good morning. A bit of a chin wag. Tell you what though, it is windy and cold up the top of that bank, so I'm glad I'm down here in the sunshine. Yeah, so at the moment we ain't having much joy, but I can't tweak my rigs until I get a run and see what's going on. So I'm going to give her another hour or 2 in this swim. If not, I'm going to leapfrog down the river a bit. But at the moment we're in no Pike City, so let's see how we get on. There we go, left hand rod is a whole sardine. Fished this swim a few times last winter. Just where I am now with that left hand rod, I've had dozens of fish out of that little hole there. That's a whole sardine mounted on a single curved hook, size 4 micro barb. Again, I'm using smaller sardines than I normally use, and the hook position is a bit further down the body of the fish. It's not right up at the tail, it's up at the sort of a quarter of the way down, 3/4 of the way up. That's where so I've gone through almost near the head, hair rigged it, and the hook's 3/4 of the way up the fish. Hopefully that slight change in hook position will do the trick. If not, and I keep missing them, what I should do is I should make up a new trace with a very short hair kicking out, so I can hair rig it in the middle of the body maybe. You know, there's all little different ways I can tweak that, but I need a run to judge hook positioning and the effectiveness of the rig the actual curved hook, because it's not a circle hook, it's a curved hook. So once you wind down on that, it should pull down away from the fish's body into the bottom of the pike's mouth, but gotta wait and see on that one. Right hand rod, right down the right hand track in front of the reed bay. Can't get too close, it's pretty shallow. They've run it off again as always. It's pretty low, so I don't want to be fishing in shallow water where the seagulls will see me baits. That is half a bluey, a mini bluey. That's hooked directly through the tail, and the middle rod is slightly, can't pick it up and look at, there it is, slightly under depth actually. It's the stop, the stop knot come off. I've put a new stop knot on, guesstimated it said I plumbed it because I wanted to get a bait out quick. As you can see, I'm just shy, I'm just shallow, so I'm fishing it like a sunken float really, and that's a whole roach. Not huge roach, 2.5 to 3 inches, that's all. And that's hair rigged again with a size 4 micro barbed curved hook. So that's the swim, 3 rods in. 200 metres down the bank I've moved. Nah, not 200, 100 metres down the bank I've moved. Didn't have any joy in the last swim I was in. Let's see if we can get something there. Well, afternoon troops, ish. I think it's still before midday. Let's check in a minute. Yeah, I've moved downstream 100 metres to another swim. 3 hours in one swim, no bites, so quick pack up, quick run down the bank. But we're out, we've got 3 baits in the water. I haven't had a run yet, so I can't, the tweaks I want to work on, do I change my rigs before I get a run, or do I change them after? Well, I've changed the hooking positions, I've changed the size of the baits. And I'll see how they go, and if one of the rigs doesn't perform how I expect it to, I've got a little trick up the sleeve to improve the hooking capabilities of the rig. So we're going to go with it for now. But you know, it's a lovely day. It's out the wind, up on the bank. The wind's really cold. Down here at the water's edge, it's very mild. It's about 10 degrees down here. It's really sunny. The river is pumping through, so I haven't got any great hook holds, but oh well.
Get off that YouTube!
You're right! Well, it's been a good day for meeting people. Just met another couple of subscribers. Harry, in his 70s, still out piking. That's what you want to see. So we've got the baits out. We've ain't had a cup of coffee yet, so that's the next order of business. We've got the rods out, got the baits in. I've got sardine on one, roach on the middle, and half a bluey on the right hand rod. So hopefully, new swim, and we'll whack a few out. You never know. You can only try. Oh, it just goes to show you, doesn't it? I had so many plans for today, and nothing's panned out the way I wanted it or expected it to. You know, I've had a couple of sessions where I've caught fish, and then we're back to the dreaded B word. I don't know. It's The river's not pumping through. I think it's ideal conditions. So I've got 3 baits in the water. We've got about an hour before it gets dark. Yeah, and then had a run a whole day. So just going to plug away, keep going till it gets dark. You know, it's one of those things. That's fishing for you. You know, you have in your mind what you're going to be doing and how you're going to be doing it throughout the session. Before you get there, you plan it and everything, don't you? And then all the plans go out the window. You know, I was hoping to get a few runs so I could tweak a few things, but you know, it's just not happened for me today. So I'm gonna just gently sit here, while away the last hour, hoping that a pike puts in an appearance. The wind's dropped off a little bit. It's not so cold as it was earlier. You know, I say it's ideal. Absolutely ideal. Got three baits in the water, plenty of water to fish at, and not a damn thing's happened. Not a damn thing. So I'm going to keep plugging away. You know, I don't catch anything. Thanks for watching, troops. I really do appreciate all the views and the comments. Try sharing the video around as well if you can. Don't have to. You know, it's just get the channel growing. Share it, but do you want to share? Oh, by the way, I watched this idiot sitting there on the bank doing nothing. So it ain't over yet. We'll crack on. Hopefully we'll catch a fish before it gets dark. And it'll be on the end of this video. Or 2 or 3. Or none. Right. Take your bets. What's it going to be? You know, I've got to get a run. It's, you know, this stretch I know quite well. I fish it quite regular, and it's very rare you go a whole session without a run of any kind. So, don't know. Just wait and see. Thanks for watching. Look at it. The wind's dropped off. It looks absolutely perfect. I couldn't ask for a better evening now. Got to cap it off with a fish. I mean, look at it. It's like a mill pond almost. There's the left hand rod, whole sardine. Brought that back into the margin. So I've had runs in that deep hole before there. There's a little bit of a hole there in that part of the swim. I've had runs there before. That's the logic to that one. Middle rod. Whole roach. Not quite mid-channel, just off mid-channel. Roughly where the pole anglers fish. So I'm hoping there's a pike patrolling along there. And the right hand rod I've moved into the centre of the swim. Right opposite the peg. All the pegs along there have hard. Look at that. Here you come looking for my baits. It's perfect. And Mr. Seagull wants a free food. Yeah, so there's the right hand rod. Just to the edge of the peg. I haven't got, oh, I've just seen some movement out there. Yeah, it's just there's the right hand rod, just to the outside of the peg. Decided not to put it in too close to the margin because it's still quite, I mean, as I say, they dropped the water off today, so it's quite shallow. So the left hand rod's got a bit of a deeper hole, so that's why it's in a bit closer. And it looks perfect, doesn't it?
Could it look any nicer? Could it look any better than this? Come on! I find there's some movement down there near my right hand rod.
Well troops, it's starting to get dark now. You know, it doesn't look it on that camera. It looks quite good, quite clear, doesn't it? That's my right hand rod. That's going to be the last rod I'm going to pack away. And keep going. I'm going to keep going till it gets dark. Hopefully we'll nick one. Or two. Or three. Just be greedy. Have one on each rod before we pack up. Thanks for watching, troops. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't, and share the videos around. Let's get this channel moving. Let's catch some fish.